Welcome, everybody, to the Jive Sports Football Podcast. I am Brandon. I'm here with my very good friend, Zach. We're coming off the heels of the National Football League, Week 7, today and today only. We have Week 7, a little bit of reactions, a little bit of thoughts, and then also our, of course, very sought-after picks and results from results from our Week 7 picks, and also heading into Week 8, super accurate, correct picks. Zach, how are we feeling? This is a fine Thursday morning. How are we feeling?
Tired, but I do have one thing I got to do first. In the that little one-on-one thing I did where it's just me. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
that episode got rave reviews. A lot of people said that that was your best analysis yet. So, but
That's what I
and
should
that
do. I should just feed you my general thoughts, and then you can help dilute
yeah.
them down to the general public.
But in that I did mention that I made a little friendly bet with buddy Zach about the Broncos, so I owe him something. I have to say this.
This
I
is
want it to be known to our faithful listeners that I am a jive turkey. I have been prancing around for far too long, proclaiming myself as Zach with a K. That is not the truth, and it's time for me to come clean about who I truly am. Um, I'm Zach with an H, and Bo Nix will have a better career than Jackson Dart. Put it on record.
that's from the heart too. You really meant all of that, didn't you?
Yes.
Generational collapse by. Do you want to talk about? Because this is going to be a little condensed episode. We're putting all the love into one. We don't have too much time to hang up on individual games, but I feel like you maybe have some thoughts about that one.
Um. Yes and no. I think people. So don't let me pretend like I wasn't pissed off and that it doesn't hurt because every loss hurts, but that one is obviously historically painful because I mean I was talking so much shit, when it was
Oh, dude.
19-0, and I was like, "Yep, this is what I've been waiting for. We're heading towards a giant Super Bowl." And I was thinking maybe next year, the following year would be the year where we would legitimately become that threat. But I was like, maybe I underestimated our abilities, and we could make a play this year. Um, but obviously, when you do stuff like that, it's kind of brings you back to earth. And people, I think, wanted me to be more upset than I actually was. Here's the thing: it's inexcusable to blow a 26-8 lead with like 6 minutes to go. It hurts. I'm not going to say it doesn't. However, my silver lining in all that is that I've just been waiting to see progress from the Giants, and I'm seeing progress. Okay,
That's all we asked
so
for, right?
because of there's it's just been stagnant for years. You know what I mean? Nothing really going. But here's what I got to say is that Brian Dable is I keep it's a love hate relationship. It's a roller coaster relationship, up and down, because you see the fucking Eagles game, Eagles Giants again this week. But his
Oh, we
first year as
do.
head coach, he took us to the playoffs, and nobody saw that coming. Was coach of the year, and then after that, it's been all downhill. And another thing that Millis and I talked about was I was like, the Giants always seem to stick with teams that are better than them for a half. Sometimes they lead going into half and then they collapse in the second. And this was kind of one of those things where I don't remember what the score was going into half, but it's 19-0, and then there's a scoreless third quarter. The Giants didn't allow a point for 5 consecutive quarters, going back to the half from second half of the Eagles game to the
Whoa,
fourth quarter of
that's
that
really
game.
impressive.
Yeah. But if the Giants are going to lose, it's usually in the second half. There's always this collapse, and we've always been under the impression that um, teams and coaches make second half adjustments, and I've Millis informed me that, listening to Pardon My Take and some other podcasts, that it's not actually true. Like teams, I guess, just go into halftime and kind of just relax and get their breath back and get rehydrated, and they go out there. I guess
Really?
whatever the game plan is the game plan, unless there's something blatantly,
Egregious. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
blatantly obvious. Hey, we can exploit this. But anyways, the Giants had every chance to win. Everything that could go wrong or that they could mess up, they did. I was mostly, I'm not going to blame the kicker. We should have never been in a position to have an extra point be the difference. Even the Denver refs tried to help us out because there was a pass interference call to put us on the first and goal from the 2 with 40 seconds left. And I was like, all right, run a play to get like 2 yards, don't score, but keep the clock running because Broncos don't have any timeouts. And they just scored right away. So just bad clock management, bad decision making. Um, so what can you really do?
The sky isn't falling though. Like you said, like you just want to see progress, and it's like I just want to feel something, right? And
Yeah.
at least you have at least you do have the Eagles win. At least you do have that first half performance. It still gives you hope. The world's not ending. You lost to a very very good defense.
Yeah. I mean, and we showed that we have a good defense too. And
I'm
we're
terrified.
headed,
I'm terrified of this weekend, just so you know.
yeah, we're headed in the right direction. So what more can you ask for? I never expected the Giants. Shit. I'm letting my, the rational part of me come out, but you know,
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
preseason, we both had the Giants finishing last in the division, right? Um, and that's kind of what I expect. I don't think they're finished last anymore because I think they're better than they're ahead of schedule. But
That's a great way to put it.
yeah, I mean, some teams, people have to understand that some teams go into seasons not expecting to win, and you can't hold like a certain teams like to the same standard
Hmm.
as some of the high powered high profile teams. Sometimes you just have to fucking accept the fact that you're building or punting on a year, and that's kind of what I did already. I've already gone through the grieving process.
You're playing with house money now.
Yeah.
That's it. Anywhere but up. Crazy. Any other week 7 games you want to recap? So I'll go on a little rant about my Eagles. Finally, they decided to pass the ball. Hurts had an absolutely perfect passer rating, which is 158.3, which is stupid. I don't even know who came up with that. 324 yards, a few more on the ground. Diced up a very, very good Kevin O'Connell defense. Encouraging. I'm not hanging the banner yet. We have to see. There's still offensive woes. Our offensive line still not playing that well. Saquon still can't get going. And apparently a lot of Hurts obviously is historically known for having a whole lot of different offensive coordinators. He's had a different offensive coordinator every year since high school, something crazy like that. He's gotten very good at checking into plays, and apparently a lot of the big plays, like the reminiscing the big Devontae Smith, like the dagger play that they ran. Apparently, Hurts has been checking into all of these. So
Fucking Devontae Smith, man, what a guy.
what an absolute guy! Like he's a wide receiver one on. He's the best wide receiver 2 in the league, and it's not even
I
close.
fucking hate that he's an Eagle, man.
I know, dude. I know. I'm sorry, but I love him so much. What else did we have jump out? There was a lot of as we were heading into the picks or whatnot. There was a whole lot of just strange bowls. I mean, we have like a lot of just odd matchups. Obviously, we have the Patriots, Titans, Panthers, Jets. The Jets still winless. Did you see what the owner said?
Yeah, I'm the one that posted it on our TikTok.
That's I don't think I've ever really. First of all, he's in a suit and like a baseball cap, which is a super unserious look. But he's like, I love my coach. He's like, but our quarterback sucks. And he's like, I've never heard somebody like an owner come out and like, not like, hey, let's get back to the basics. We got a winning like roster. We just need to have everything meshed together. He's literally like, it's tough to be mad at the coach when the quarterback sucks.
So, I mean, if you watch the full interview, he does. Let me use a term that you like to use, is he does massage it some.
Mm-hmm.
He is saying, he did say, It's tough when you have a quarterback that
with that rating or something.
but he's like, but we're gonna get there. We're we're working towards helping him out and whatever. So I did a little bit of bad journalism because in that TikTok that I made, I did take two of his comments and switch them around so that it fit the narrative better and was funnier.
Mm-hmm.
But he
I
does
like
kind
that.
of he does kind of try to walk it back a little bit. I think he realized in the moment what he was saying, and he was like, "I got to kind of make this sound better." And he tries his best, but he's just seeing what we all see and what I've been saying since preseason, that Justin
Dude.
Field is not a quarterback. And I told people, do not watch that Panthers game because it's going to be fucking miserable. And at one point, they had more penalties than points. So that's one of my Nostradamus picks was, don't watch this. It'll be terrible. I said, hammer. The over under was 40.5. I said, hammer the fucking under. These teams are not going to score.
Unserious. Look, 13-6. That's like Big Ten football in the
Oh my
1940s type
God.
ass box score, dude. Before the forward pass was invented.
I can't fucking handle it, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Where does Justin Fields go?
He's a
Like
backup, okay?
I
He's
don't even
he's
think. No. So hang on. He should evolve sooner rather than later into a type of Taysom Hill gadget player because he's a really really good athlete. I don't even think I'd want to put him at backup. I think I want to put him in some sort of weird hybrid tight end Taysom Hill role, like almost positionless. Like that's what I think. Put him into RPOs. You know, he can throw the ball once, maybe twice. Like I think that would be fun. But I don't even think he's a backup. Like
No, I mean he can play backup, but no, you're right. I actually did have the thought of like just transition to wide receiver or something.
yeah, have him
You
the
know,
first
there's no
ATH
shame in
like
that.
athlete. Like
There's no shame in that. You're in the fucking NFL. You know what I mean?
seriously.
People, I mean, obviously you want to be quarterback and you've been playing that position probably most of your life. But dude, be it just like to be on the field for a team and play wide receiver or whatever, like that's not some big fucking
That's
insult.
yeah, that's not bad, man. Like you got to see the writing on the walls, and you zig when others zag, and you skate to where the puck's gonna be, now where it is, and just fucking be like, raise your hand in the meeting and be like, maybe line me up, maybe line me up on the out, and have Tyrod just soar one over my head. So
Yeah.
it just also the Jets franchise is just so absolutely cursed. It's so funny. And besides that, I feel like Zach. I feel like it was kind of a whelming week. I mean, the 49ers Falcons was kind of a boring game. The Lions continue to be a buzzsaw. It's funny the difference between the Detroit from week one, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Micah Parsons, because the Packers have looked splendidly mediocre over the last couple of weeks. Meanwhile, the Lions, everybody, the sky's falling, blah blah blah. They lost Brian Johnson, Aaron Glenn, all that kind of stuff. Did you see? This is actually pretty funny. So the Lions, their secondary isn't doing great. Your alarm's going off. Wake up. Their secondary isn't doing great. Super, super injured. They got like practice squatters. They're elevating. They're on like the third, fourth string. Did you see what people are calling them?
No.
They're calling
The
them the
Legion of whom?
the Legion of Whom is such a fucking good nickname because there's a whole bunch of future used car salesmen just out there just locking down Egbuka and Kate Otten, and it's absolutely it's just a lot of fun to watch. So props to coaching. We have to give the Lions their flowers.
No,
What
I
do you
don't.
feel?
I did want to mention, last week after the Chiefs game, Lions fans were in full tinfoil hat conspiracy mode. It's rigged. The NFL hates them. Let's file a class action lawsuit. This is
All
this
of the
is
above.
the integrity of the game. Some guys said, "Shut the fuck up. You don't care." During that Bucks game, the Lions got several questionable calls and several things happened that I can't remember happening. For example, uh, reviewing the same play twice and
That's
just picking up their flags and stuff. Where was the integrity of the game, people, when that was going on? The joke I wanted to make, or I was saying, was like, hey, I hope the Bucks handle taking this loss as classy and as mature as the Lions did. What they should do is be stomping their feet, throwing temper tantrums, screaming, crying, yelling, bitching, moaning, filing lawsuits, threatening to quit watching. Typical Lions fan stuff. Drives me fucking nuts.
You're so upset. I love it. And I don't really have too much to talk about the Texans, Seahawks. The Texans, their defense is obviously. I know it's funny. You and I were texting about it. And I'm like, it's funny as you and I just sit here and we banter and we talk about nothing with all of our analysis. And I love the narratives that just naturally form. And from week one, we were both like, you were hesitant on the Texans and C.J. Stroud, not where they're going to land in the division. I was high on them, but over time we've morphed into, we've gone away from like, well, C.J. Stroud and regression, yeah, his offensive line's questionable, blah blah blah, new schemes. To we just now text each other and we're like, the Texans suck. Like the Texans aren't a good team. They're not a good team. Their offense is absolutely miserable to watch. I can't even believe, looking at this now, I can't even believe they put up 19, and some of them must have been garbage time, but the Seahawks came out with a win. Do you have anything to say to your friends in Houston?
I hate to say I told you so.
You did
I
call
really
it.
don't I really don't have much to say about it. People, I don't know. It's just,
It's like what do you say that has, it's like what do you get the guy who has everything? What do you say that has not already been said? Like,
but I mean, people are just kind of unwilling to change their mind on certain things. I don't get it. But
how
yeah,
how,
they're awful.
how much worse does it get until people start calling for heads? I don't know. They're quickly entering that weird kind of a mid-range that a lot of NFL teams fall into, to where they're not quite catastrophic enough to start calling for major changes, but also they're not reliable enough to win more than, I mean, win their division, make a playoff rush. I don't know. It's going to be super interesting, which I like the Texans. I like their logo. I like the expansion team, whatever. They're just not very good or fun to
It's it
watch.
they're For me, it's these situations are super interesting because, I mean, the Jacks could be in a similar situation, because we all think that, well, a lot of people have fallen off the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon. I haven't yet, just because, as I've mentioned before, I have a soft spot in my heart for quarterbacks that have had three coaches in 5 years. But they gave him that big contract after that, a good season,
Hmm.
and sometimes, I mean, the CJ Stroud thing. Are they going to end up just kind of ignoring the next couple years and giving him a huge contract next year because as a rookie he played well, and just be kind of stuck with this and throw money away? I don't know. If you got to look at the bigger picture and the whole body of work, and not just, well, remember that one year he was good. I don't know.
Yeah, we're quickly becoming it's not quite sunk cost fallacy, but I mean, in any sort of thing, you just got to look at the sample size. And he had a obviously incredible rookie campaign, but eventually that's going to become the outlier, as opposed to everybody thought last season was the outlier. And now the needle's getting closer and closer to maybe reality. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and how well we can do a power lap when everything comes true. So let's just go right into week 8. I
Well,
got the odds
before we
up.
do that,
Oh,
I was just before we got on, I was listening to Pablo Torre's podcast. I don't know if you listen to Pablo Torre, but I think he's got the best sports podcast in the world right now, unless you count wrestling and Jim Cornette. But Pablo Torre is fantastic, and him and Dominic Foxworth were just talk. The title of the video I just watched was "Did We Forget About CTE?"
first of all, funny title, kind of.
Yeah, I guess that there is some type of
There's a play.
subliminal.
There's a play there. There's
Yeah,
a play there.
but I was going to ask you your thoughts about it because it kind of is one of those things where, as sports fans, and I watch a lot of boxing, a lot of MMA, hockey, football, these contact physical sports. Um, and if there's any kind of guilt associated with kind of being the spectator, and the sport exists the way it does because of how many spectators there are and how much money they're willing to spend. I don't know. For me, I don't my thing was I don't think that we have forgotten about CTE. I think the outrage was largely in part due to the fact that uh, the information was being withheld from the players, right?
Hmm.
And they weren't allowed the opportunity to make a informed decision about what they were going to do. But now that the information's there and they're choosing to do it anyways, I feel like my conscience is kind of clear. I feel like there's inherent risks to anything. I use the example of a roller coaster. If you go to an amusement park and you ride a roller coaster, that you're taking on a risk. As safe as they can be with the seat belts and all the different safety mechanisms, it's still not foolproof. And as long as you understand that there are things that can happen, we don't stop people from going to amusement parks, so there can't be this huge, backlash or cry to, I don't know. What do you what are your thoughts on CTE and fans?
I mean, I don't think it's not, and obviously we can springboard off of the CTE conversation. 'Cause I think that's pretty opponent to be able to talk about. But it also comes to all sports and things like that with any sort of like injury risk, right? And like you're putting your body on the line. I do appreciate how you took the stance, like the big gray muddy areas, how information was being withheld from players. In order to make a fully informed decision. It's all out there now, all that kind of stuff. But it's like it's risk management, and it's just the cost of doing business as well. So like there's electricians that have boots on the ground all the day, right? There's electricians cranking wires or whatnot, and then there's the ones that climb up power poles and go put places back together after storms, and they're 50 feet up in the air, and they're doing essentially the same job. They're getting paid a little bit more because there's that risk management. Window washers, if you got boots on the ground, you're probably getting paid less than the guy in the high rise, right? I mean, it's just how it is. And these players, and especially like athletes like UFC, MMA, even though they're woefully underpaid, they probably sit with friends and family and themselves, and they're like, hey, this is worth the risk, And I don't think we should ever feel bad as spectators, because these aren't people. This isn't Hunger Games. This is not Squid
Right.
Game. These aren't people against their will. They are financially compensated, and they did have conversations and decisions in rooms that we will never be in, and decided that, hey, this is what we're doing. So I will never feel guilty sitting on my couch 5 beers down when Cam Scadaboo runs headfirst into. Did you see that? Hang on. Did you see that touchdown to where he barreled into the touchdown? And then I'm like, sweet. I'm like, he's not gonna get hit like he died this play. And then he's like 2 yards into the end zone, and he still hits a player. He still hits a defender like with his head, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, let up. That's our thoughts.
I don't know.
Totally accurate. Not controversial at all. Definitely won't post this, and definitely won't get yelled at.
Hi, Cam. I'm worried about you.
The National Football League Week 8 picks, whatnot. Do you have the quick rundown? How did we end up last week, Zach?
Yes, I do.
Charlotte Ludington Meat
Um,
Market.
so I went 4-1. I took Colts, Giants, Panthers,
Oh,
Dolphins, Pats, and my only loss was the Dolphins. You went 3-2, so I take a lead, 1 game lead. You had Pats, Panthers, Cowboys, Packers, Falcons. Falcons lost, and um, Packers won, but didn't cover the -7 spread.
I'm so mad. Let's get back into it. So you're 4-1. I'm 3-2. let's just rip roll these, right? So tonight, this is Thursday. We got Thursday night football. We have the Minnesota Vikings at the LA Chargers. Carson Wentz yet again starting for the Minnesota Vikings. LA at home, if you even want to call it that. SoFi Stadium. Chargers started off the season hot. Injuries, some defensive woes. Coming to roost. Chargers are 3.5-point favorites. How are you feeling about this game?
I don't
This is a
fucking
tough
know.
one. I'm like, I can't believe we're already starting the week off with this because, like, when I look at the Chargers, I'm like, obviously it's the Chargers. But then I look at their previous performances and the
They've been on the
Vikings.
decline.
Yes, and I'm like, the Vikings maybe. I
Man,
don't. It's not. I'm not a huge fan of this game at all. I think it'll be actually a good watch as neutral advisors. I'm also just thinking like, I just got to take this as a vibe check, and I'm going to trust Harbaugh, get right. We're going to do Chargers. But I'm not happy about it. I'm just picking Chargers. I'm not touching the spread or anything on this.
I'm taking the Chargers. Chargers just because it's a Thursday night game and they're at home. But I don't have any
Done.
confidence in that at all.
At all, right? Now we're going into Sunday, October 26th. That's my birthday, bro. My birthday's this weekend. What'd you get me? We got let's see how the docket is for my birthday. I don't even know what it is yet. We got the Buffalo Bills at the Carolina Panthers. The Bills are 7-point favorites. That gets into that dicey spread roll again. I mean, as soon as we start throwing up a full touchdown, you love the 7. You're going to take the 7, aren't you?
I just don't. I've been saying it since day one of this show, literally because we started with the NFC predictions. I don't like the Panthers, so I would comfortably take Bills, and probably -7's probably good. I mean, they have been looking, a little sus in recent weeks as well. So
Everybody sucks.
they need a big statement win to kind of like get back on track. So I think Bills, you know, by 10 or 13 should be pretty easy,
Wow.
hopefully.
I'm saying Bills obviously straight up. I might play around with the spread. I might think about it. Hey, this is kind of fun. Over the last 17 games, Bryce Young has more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions, and a better rating than CJ Stroud.
Oh wow.
I'm
That's
just
hard.
saying.
That's hard to do.
Next up, we have the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. It,
Giants.
Eagles, Eagles, Eagles are 7.5-point favorite, despite the fact that they lost to the Giants essentially a week and a half ago. Are you taking Giants straight up?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? We just beat the fuck out of you guys. Now we're going back to the scene of the crime.
I I don't trust my Eagles. I almost want to take the Giants 7.5 here. I almost want to take Giants 7. I will take Giants 7.5. I think Eagles are going to win, but I'm doing Giants 7.5.
That's going to be your in your Fab Five, but you're taking Eagles outright.
Yes, just for the vibes.
I'm taking Giants outright too.
That's spicy. I love that. Next we have
Over 43.5.
no, really. I like that actually. That seems kind of like a low one, right? Especially if the Eagles figure out their offense and the Giants are so fun to watch. They're so fun to watch, bro. I'm actually really excited to watch that game. Now we have the preseason hype bowl to what the fuck are we doing with our hands bowl. We got the New York Jets at the Cincinnati Bengals. The flag show thrown to Jamar Chase versus the New York Jets. The Bengals are 6.5-point favorites. Might be their biggest favored spread since Joe Burrow's been out. I'm taking Bengals straight up. I don't know if I'm taking that. I'm taking the fucking Bengals 6.5. You see how I talked myself into it?
Yeah, I don't know why this I'm taking Bengals. I don't know why the over under would be 44.5 because
That seems high, doesn't it?
as I've mentioned, the Jets are not going to score.
They don't score points. They do not score points. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Speaking of teams that can score points, now we go. Does this week suck?
This is a week where it's they're being more kind to the betters because there's a lot easier decisions being made this week.
This is the one where Vegas is like, yeah, they're being fined to the sports betting Neanderthals because it's almost halfway through the season. Everybody's broke. Everybody lost all their money, so they're gonna give us a shot in the arm here. We have Miami Dolphins at the Falcons. Oof. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the Miami Dolphins, bro. Falcons are 7.5 point favorites. How are you feeling about this? I know how much you love Miami.
Falcons.
Falcons all day. Are you taking that 7.5 though?
Probably not, just because they've been so fucking inconsistent. But this might be the week. When's Miami's bye week? Let's see if McDaniel gets fired. Not that we would wish that on anybody, but it's inevitable. Let's see what the bye week is. So they're on Thursday night next week because they got Falcons Sunday. Then on Thursday they play the Ravens, and then it's their bye. So he might survive 2 more weeks.
I would love him. Somebody said that we would love him as the Eagles offensive coordinator. If he gets fired and we do the whole little, who do we did with Sean Desai, I think, for the 49ers. He got let go as defensive coordinator, and then we picked him up, and he made our market improvement on our defense a couple weeks in. So,
Yeah, so expect to wake up Friday morning on Halloween, and first thing you're going to see is McDaniel fired.
McDaniel fired and Tua promoted a water boy. Sorry, I was just writing down my Fab Five because I tend to forget it, right? Next we have, again, this is one. What the fuck happened with our season bowl? We have the Chicago Bears at the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is still not fully participating. I think he was either did not practice or he's limited.
They're expecting him to play, though.
It has to be, especially with this line. Ravens are 6.5 point favorites. How you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I mean, fuck. Because now I'm going to be a hypocrite because I was going to say, if Lamar plays, I'll take the Ravens. But if he doesn't, I'm taking Bears. So that's kind of your take from the Washington game a couple of weeks back. I'm just going to say Bears.
You're going to go Bears?
Yeah, fuck it.
6.5 or straight up?
Well, this is just our slate right now, so.
Okay, yep, you're right. So we might tease it. I was just trying to pull it up real quick, so do not quote me on this, but I might pull it up and clip it with it and put it on there. But there's a crazy stat right now for Derrick Henry, and the list of players that have more like rushing touchdowns than him, it's like hilarious. It's like you could literally do like if you weren't super in tune with football, you could do like 2 truths and a lie, because there's some no-namers on there that have more touchdowns than Derrick Henry this year. Hopefully he comes on. The league's better when the Ravens are good and fun. So hopefully he can come on this week. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I'm gonna do Ravens, man. I'm gonna do Ravens. Like just a week, just a chalk pick. I don't like it. I think there's good money here on the Bears. I'm gonna look like an idiot. I don't even like it. Let's move on. This is crazy. Who would have thought this? We have the Cleveland Browns at the New England Patriots. Let me travel back in time. 8 years or so. Maybe 9. 7, maybe a year removed. I would punch myself for saying this. But the New England Patriots are one of my favorite teams in the league right now. I love Drake May. I love the whole Vrabel getting the chance at Tennessee. That's diabolical. I really like the Patriots. They're having a great season. Drake May, dark horse, MVP. I'm going Patriots here. I'm not touching the -7. I'm saying Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, you can't not, right?
You can't not.
You can't not.
You can't not. You just
So
cannot.
I'll take Patriots.
Look at that over-under. 40.5? Incredibly low, and still might do the under, right? Next up, we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Houston Texans. I'm going to fucking lose it. The Texans are 1.5-point favorites. It's essentially a pick 'em on the money line. There's no... You got to go 49ers all day, right?
Yeah.
Like pick 'em, spread, juice the spread? In what world is that anemic-ass Houston Texans offense doing anything to give it this sort of line? And Nico Collins is hurt, I think.
What do you know? Yeah, I don't know, but I'm not taking the Texans against anybody besides like
The Jets.
the bottom 4 or 5 teams. So if
right.
I recall correctly, the 49ers are 5-2, so they're not going to have any problems here.
49ers all day. And then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay super banged up. Really, really sucked to see Godwin go down with that collarbone. Broke his collarbone.
Mike Evans.
Isn't my... Dude. Okay, so here's my issue, is I always get those two confused. I always get them confused.
Well,
And I
you're
don't
dumb.
know why. I am dumb. That ends his... it would have been NFL tying 12 seasons with 1,000 yards. Super disappointing to see that, but the Bucs are at not Mercedes-Benz. We're at the Superdome in New Orleans. Bucs are 4.5-point favorites. I'm still taking the Bucs. I think the Lions are just a really good team. I think people are reacting that the Buccaneers, also a very good team, lost to a very good team. I'm taking Buccaneers here. I might even tease the 4.5, but I'm taking Bucs straight up.
And Bucky Irving might be back this week too. It's
Whoa,
hard.
whoa.
It's hard not to take the Bucks, you know. But there's something weird about this game.
You sense it?
I sense something weird.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to take the Saints.
You felt a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, something's weird about this. Saints.
Dude, I love it. I love your sports hat, by the way.
Thanks.
That's a great hat. You're taking this, dude. This is gonna, now you're getting me juiced, bro. Why not? Take the Titans on this one. We have the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. The spread is a very college basketball friendly -14 in favor of the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are -1350 on the money line. That means you have to bet $1,350 to win $100. That's crazy. That is crazy. Colts all day. I don't think I'm touching a 14-point spread in the National Football League. I'm all aboard the Colts wagon, bro. All the way to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude, they just continue to impress. They took care of the Chargers just handily. Was never in question. So what else can you... I wouldn't touch the spread either because the Titans' defense is solid, and it's a divisional game. So
Weird stuff happens.
weird stuff happens.
But you're taking Colts straight up, right?
Yeah, of course.
If the Titans win, that could be crazy. I don't know. I might tease it. Who knows? We have the Dallas Cowboys at the Denver Broncos. The over-under on this is 50.5. The Broncos are 3.5-point favorites against the Dallas Cowboys. I've not been privy too much to being able to watch too much Dallas Cowboys football. I just know Dak is playing really well, and I know they give up a lot of points. I know they score a lot of points, right? I like the Dallas Cowboys here.
I do too. This is a really weird season for me because
Really weird, right? I can't get a
bec-
fucking grip. It's like I can't get a grip on the teams. It's like, you know, those like things I used to hold, context and stuff. Like when you're younger and they kept slipping out of your hands. That's how I feel
yeah,
about this season. It's like as soon as I feel like I get a vibe of a team, it
the little
fucking
that
switches.
little water tube thing.
Yes, exactly. You gotta be careful or put on that camera with the hands.
So, I generally hate the Cowboys, but this year I don't hate them so much. I feel like because they were being picked on and bullied by everybody after the Micah trade, and I was Team Jerry on that. And Dax just played so well that this is the first year in my life that I don't like wish fucking misery on them.
I know, right?
I mean, I don't want them to beat the Giants, of course, but I kind of like them a
I
little
th-
bit.
Me too. I think because they've evolved to the point, I don't think they're a real threat to the division or to the conference as a whole. However, they're fun enough to watch now, so they're kind of in that middle ground. Like you don't want to root for them when they have a chance to like go to the Super Bowl, right? I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl, but if they can beat up and provide some good football along the way, more power
I
to
mean,
you.
like the Giants Cowboys game was a game of the year. The fucking Cowboys Packers was a game of the year last week. 44-22 against like they're fun to watch, and the Broncos offense is going through a rough spell. They don't
Yeah,
have
kind of
Cortland Sutton's
questionable.
Cortland Sutton's fantastic, okay, but he's older. Um, if he's kind of your number one and your number two is I don't know Marvin Mims and stuff, they need another receiver, and yeah, their offense is basically like Bo Nix make something happen.
Exactly, and he's not been playing the greatest either. So
So I'll take the
we
Cowboys.
I love that. We got a fun. This is a fun one, okay? We got the Green Bay Packers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This snuck up on me because now I'm thinking about all the narratives and all the talking heads are going to love talking about this. Aaron Rodgers versus the Green Bay Packers. Love Rodgers, whatever. Packers are 3.5 point favorites at, by the way, it should have been advertising's killing everybody, but it's Acrisure Stadium. It should be Heinz Field still, but whatever. Packers are 3.5 point favorites in Pittsburgh. What are you doing? What are you doing with this one? What are you
So
doing?
uh, probably a good time to mention that hopefully on November 1st, Saturday, November 1st, hopefully we are going to have our first live stream, and it's going to be with the gentleman from Steelers Almighty slash the Know It Alls podcast. They're
Okay.
a Steelers, obviously a Steelers fan podcast.
Yeah, yeah, Steelers fans,
Um,
yeah.
Good guys, super nice, and they talk ball. Um, I've liked my interactions with them. The guy Sean, and hopefully we can talk. I was telling them, because they did a little recap of the game against the Bengals, and I was like, even though pat myself on the
Even
back, and even though I called the Bengals win pretty close to the exact kind of outcome, but it's a weird game, a weird Thursday night divisional game. It reminds me of the Packers Lions.
hmm
Weird things happen. I don't think it means anything against the Steelers other than they got a loss on their record. But to me, it doesn't mean that they're in a funk. It's just a weird thing that happens sometimes. But with that being said, Packers.
what a long-winded answer. I'm going Packers as well. I'm also gonna be. This is gonna be my. I'm keeping track. We can recap it. I'm gonna be taking Packers -3. I think it's gonna be a really really good fun game to watch. This is interesting, by the way. These are stats. Steelers. Steelers have sneakily been running the ball pretty well, which is crazy because we're not talking about like Jalen Warren or anything like that. But he's been having a very okay season. I think a running back, I think he's like 12th or 13th in points per game. But the Steelers have been, it's like offensive EPA, expected points added or whatnot, on rushing. They're 6th in the league. And since Ben Roethlisberger has been gone, they've not been above 20th in running
Since
the
you've
ball.
been gone.
Since you've been gone. Pitch Perfect. We need to rewatch that. I've seen Pitch Perfect. You know that
I
scene,
fucking
right?
love Kelly Clarkson. No, I've never watched Pitch Perfect.
You haven't? It's good. I do love Kelly Clarkson as well. Piece
This
by
is
piece.
fucking what the fuck is going on here? You haven't seen Star Wars,
Or Forrest Gump.
but you've watched Pitch Perfect.
And Pitch Perfect 2.
Oh my god!
Cups
Somebody
with the-
explain. America, explain.
That was crazy. And now we got...
Have you seen that before?
No, so I'm just keeping base. And you'll send it to me after, and I'll be like, that was a good
Well,
reference.
real quickly. There's like I want to say she sounds kind of Asian, but she's looking at a map and there's Kansas and Arkansas, and she goes, "How come this is Kansas and this is not Arkansas? What the fuck is Arkansas? America, explain." I'm sorry if that's offensive or something. It's just the accent is what makes it funny, right?
I would have to assume so. Actually, it's also good. It's also a good part. The English language makes no sense whatsoever.
It's ridiculous.
Segueing smoothly into our final game, we have Monday Night Football. We have the Commanders at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 12.5-point favorites. I understand. I'm so not touching it. I understand. The Chiefs are so back. Mahomes, Rashee Rice, blah, blah, blah. Still, 12.5-point favorites. Crazy. I am taking the Chiefs straight up.
Yeah, I mean, that Chiefs Raiders game was I didn't watch it obviously, but the stats are fucking weird. The Raiders ran 30 plays. They had 10 drives.
Yep.
They only had the ball for like 19 minutes. But like
the Chiefs had more points than the Raiders ran plays.
But if you have 10 drives and you have 30 plays, that's literally like 3 and out every single time.
Yep. Except one outlier. Insane.
Oh my goodness.
Are the Chiefs back? Are the Chiefs going to win the fucking Super Bowl?
It's they got healthy and they got all their weapons, Rashee comes back from a 6-game suspension, hasn't played since week 2 or 3 of last year, and he starts 2 touchdowns.
Crazy.
But yeah, I mean, now that they have Hollywood Brown, Rashee, Worthy, it's gonna be tough.
Chiefs. Not happy about it. Chiefs. Okay, now let's land this plane. Let's go into our Fab Five. Whatever you want to call it. So this is you either take, to recap at home, we go head to head each week. Zach was 4-1 last week. I was 3-2. All that kind of good stuff. We either have to pick a underdog money line straight up, or we have to pick a favorite spread, right? Somewhere in there. You can't just be saying Fab Five. I want the Buffalo Bills to win, and I want the fucking Colts to win, and I want the Chiefs to win. That's not gonna do it here. Okay. So do you have yours, Zach, or you want me to ramble off mine?
I'll take Packers -3. Cowboys +3.5, Saints +4.5, 49ers +1.5, and Giants +7.5.
We're pretty close. We're pretty close here. I think we only have one difference. Maybe you can recap for me, okay? I have I have Bengals 6.5, Giants 7.5, 49ers 1.5. Cowboys 3.5, and Packers 3. So I think our only difference is I took Bengals, you took Saints, right?
Well, thank you for doing that. Otherwise, this would, huh?
No, I'm confident in that. That's it. That's all she wrote, ladies and gents. You got anything else for us, Zach?
Well, normally you ask me a question here, don't you?
Do I? I don't usually. I literally just asked you a question. I said, do you have anything else? That's a question.
Ask me about a dad joke.
Oh, Any fatherly, humorous, fatherly little anecdotes that you have, my friend?
Well, no, I was gonna tell a joke about the Jonestown massacre, but the punchline was too long.
That's so good. That's a dark one.
I was gonna say, is that a dad joke if it's like murders involved?
That's like a drunk uncle in the garage, 10 bush lights down kind of joke. But that's probably your best one yet. The punch. That's a thinker. And if you don't get it,
I don't
blessed
know.
be your,
I find
blessed.
something.
The Jonestown thing's crazy. After like in the off season, we're gonna start like a not that's not true crime really, but that is just crazy
Sure it
that
is.
that happened. You think that's true crime?
Why wouldn't it be?
I feel like true crime more so falls underneath like cops and robbers. We'll get into it. I'm Brandon. This is Zach signing off.